Hi, this is Susan Gerleo, and I want to do a brief follow-up to Chris Brogan's great post today about depression. I've suffered from depression for years after my son was born, and I guess you'd call it postpartum depression, and I'm also a psychologist who works with people with depression, and Chris's post is so right on about the fact that depression is not really an online event, although I know some people do find comfort going online and finding community there. One of the things I think a lot of folks don't really understand about depression is really what it is. It has to be pretty bad for us to even identify that we might be depressed. And I think a lot of people wander around with low-grade depression and not realize it. So I wanted to talk a little bit about what depression is and isn't, and then I want to talk a little bit about how to get help, not just for yourself, because Chris gives you really good tips on that, but also if you have a friend online that you're worried about how to get help for that person. So the first thing about depression is you may not know you have it, and the signs are actually physical and less emotional. I mean, certainly you can feel very sad and down, and for a lot of men particularly, anger and irritability are part of depression, and these have to go on for weeks. It can't just be a one bad day here or there. So if you feel sort of low, if you're crying easily, if you're irritable or angry and not sure why you're so upset about life, you may be depressed. Another thing that happens with depression is our eating gets usually weird. So you either eat too much or you eat too little, or you crave carbs, or you crave sugar, or you crave fats. That's why a lot of people with depression gain weight. But also it can be eating too little. So somebody that has no appetite, knows that you should be hungry but just can't get yourself to eat, can be depression. And your sleep also gets dysregulated. So a lot of folks identify with sleeping too much as being depressed, but often it can be sleeping too little. So often that looks like falling asleep fine, but waking up, 3, 4, 5 in the morning and not able to get back to sleep can also be depression, or waking up frequently throughout the night, never being able to get a good night's sleep. And again, these symptoms have to go on for a very long time. This isn't just one bad night or one bad week. It's weeks and weeks and weeks, and things that you've tried to help yourself and you just can't seem to get it together. Ways that you can help yourself with depression, I think on Chris's post on Google Plus, there's a lot of great advice, and I just wanted to sort of summarize it here because it's all distributed among hundreds of comments. One of the things that's really great, and I know Lisa Johnson mentioned it, is exercise. And you are not going to feel like exercising. You are going to feel like sitting on your couch eating chips and staring at stupid TV or surfing the internet and doing nothing but getting off your butt, doing some light exercise. You don't have to go run 10 miles. You could even just do light stretches, something really simple. But exercise really does kickstart the chemicals in your brain to kind of kick it over and make you feel a little better. Eating well clearly helps. And again, you're not going to want to eat well. You're going to want to eat pizza. You're going to want to eat ice cream, but trying to kind of push yourself beyond that into something healthy is going to help. Talking to people absolutely helps, and idle chit chat is not it. Idle chit chat like, oh, I'm having a bad, that's not going to help. Like Chris says, a tweet, a post, those things are nice, but they're not going to make you feel better. Confide in people, tell them how you're feeling. I know it's hard, and a lot of people feel like there's some stigma associated, but it's either you tell people or you suffer. And that can be a professional, that can be a friend. Sometimes you're too depressed to get help. It takes a lot of work. I think Jim Fierce mentions this on Chris's post. It takes a lot of work to find a therapist. And sometimes you're too depressed to do the work. You don't want to pick up the phone. You don't want to do, you don't want to make calls. You don't want to have to get callbacks and interact with the world. Ask a friend or a family member or a loved one to do that for you. Say, you know what, I think I'm in real trouble here. I need to talk to somebody, and can you do the footwork for me? And your loved ones will be more than happy to do that for you. And again, if you're a person who's observing someone who's depressed, whether it's in your community, in your family, or online, I mean, a lot of people have said they saw some of these folks that have unfortunately killed themselves over the past few months. They saw them spiraling down and didn't really know what to do. You can reach out, you can ask them, you can say, what can I do for you? Ultimately, you're not going to prevent somebody from hurting themselves. Ultimately, they're going to make decisions one way or the other. You can do your best to help, but unfortunately, from a distance, we can't really save people, but we can reach out, we can send them the resources, we can pick up the phone. It's very easy if you have a friend, even thousands of miles away who says, you know what, I'm in real trouble, I don't know what to do. Get their zip code, know where they are, and start making calls on their behalf. That sometimes that's the best thing you can do for them. So thank you, Chris, for starting this conversation. I think it's really so important, especially for those of us who do work from home, who are somewhat isolated. And one of the blessings of the internet is that we can be really independent in our working. One of the curses that we can be really independent in our work. We need people, and we need to be connected to people in real life. And we need hugs, and we need high fives, and we need acknowledgement that people matter and are making a difference. So take care of your community, take care of each other, and keep supporting one another. And when you see someone hurting, don't kick them when they're down. Even if you feel like what's going on doesn't agree with your personal whatever values or how you go about the world, either say nothing and allow them to have their place on the internet to be safe, or reach out. So I hope this helps a few people that might be struggling with depression right now, and I'm going to put some resources at the bottom here for folks that want places to call and connect, and I wish you all the best. And if you ever feel like you're struggling, you can certainly reach out to me. I have a huge network of therapists that I know and work with, and we can try to get you the help you need. This has been Susan Gerleo. Take care, everyone.